everybody. The bride, absolute fairy tale princess. I think you just look absolutely perfect. The bridesmaids, the green goddesses. I just think they look wonderful. And they had to stand up for the whole service. My knees were buckling after the first 10 minutes, and I ain't got to sit down. So, good on you. Also want to thank Hannah's mum for the organisation that she's done through the process. And again, thanks everybody for coming. Give everybody a round of applause. So, Stuart called me up about 6 months ago, I guess, and he said, I'd like you to be my best man. I thought, that's nice, that's quite, I'm very flattered, I'm very touched. Have you got any special reasons? Oh, I've got 2 reasons. Well, that's good. I'm already ahead of the game. There's first of all, you're my brother. And he always says brother on the phone. He pretends to be posh, but he's not really. And he says, you're my brother, and I love you, and I'd really like you to be my best man. So that's good. I said, what's the second reason? He said, well, secondly, you're a big old homosexual. I said, well, obviously, thanks for noticing. I'm not sure why that would qualify me to be a better best man than anybody else. And he said, well, I think you've been quite good because you won't do one of them sort of stag nights where I end up in Edinburgh, tied to a tree, I only get around. You're not going to arrange strippers, you know, female ones. Any of the bridesmaids. And I said, well, to be honest, mate, I'm a little bit upset because I was wanting to be one of the bridesmaids. But he talked me down off the ledge. I mean, he thinks me no amount of waxing, bang, what's that? Which get me into one of those dresses. So I stand before you as the best man, promising not to try and seduce any of the bridesmaids. If they're curious boyfriends. So, I did what probably every best man does. I went on to bestman.com, bestmanspeech.com, lastnightfreedom.com, tied to a tree in Edinburgh.com. And I was already behind, 6 months ahead. There was stuff I was supposed to be doing that I just hadn't done. It's quite sort of complicated. But fortunately, again, because it's such a great organisation, what I really have to do is turn up with the rings, job done, and then tell you a little bit about Stuart, and maybe give some advice to Hannah of how, you know, she should be approaching that. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff I know, like brother stuff, that sort of family stuff is not that interesting. He was a big lover of the Smurfs when he was young. He used to sing the song whenever it came on. And then when he was 23, we tried to stop him doing it. At that point, he's allergic to every single antibiotic known to medical science. So be aware of that one, I guess. And then actually, Mum was reminding me, when he made his first confession, you go into that little confession box, and there's you, and there's the priest and the groom, and the priest was, bless you, my child. And he says, is that you, God? We're very literal, we're Catholic literalism, probably. So those are sort of things I don't know. What do we know of Stuart generally as people kind of know that I could share that would help you get a sense of him? And when I started to think about that, there's one thing that always strikes me about Stuart, is this really nice kind of paradox in a way. He is without doubt the most sensitive, kind, caring, thoughtful person, you know, that I've known. He's more like my big brother sometimes, to be honest. Yeah. But then when it comes to money, he's as common as a fish's arse. I mean, if you've ever been to the movies with Stuart, you'll know that he picks the movie by the running time, because you get better value for money that way. The number of 2 hour and 44-minute films I've sat through, you won't see a 90-minute film. It's amazing. Is that true? Slightly. When he was little, if we wanted to set E-clean, we said we've got the 10 pence down the back. About an hour later, it was spotless. It was like crime scene investigation run over the old set in the squeezes. It was just a big off of it, right? I feel I'm striking a chord with some people there. So you probably know Stuart's motto, why spend 75 pence on the bus when you can walk in 55 minutes? So if you've ever done... So if you've ever done the Liverpool Street, that's the square walk of Stuart, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He also has quite a warped sense of humour, actually. He has a tendency to the dark slapstick, and he sort of giggles a bit. Stuart's probably pinnacle of comedy would be a stranger falling over in the street. He's laughing at. And I thought if anything fell over today, you'd have to be picking him up off the ground as well as the person. He's a planner though. He's very methodical. He goes about stuff in a really structured way. And I remember when I was living in the States, I came back for home leave in 2004, and we went out for lunch. It was just late because we walked late, so I didn't mean to talk about it. And he says to me at lunch, I'm going to meet a woman this year. I thought, well, that's pretty generic. You'll probably meet one when they bring the bread or something. And he goes, no, I want to meet the woman. And I thought, well, you know what, my little friend, that's a vastly different prospect, right? The woman, very different to a woman. Yeah? So, and I thought, well, he's going to rush off and just do something impulsive. And he's a planner, though. And like, probably 15 months later, I guess we were chatting, he says, I think I've met the woman. And I think he did. And I'm glad that he did. And that makes me very happy for you. So, Hannah, you've essentially married somebody who's a sort of generous-spirited miser. With a dark sense of slapstick humour. But a kind of sociopathic level of planning. You know, so sort of like Norman Wisdom meets Hannibal Lecter. So I kind of feel compelled to sort of give you some domestic advice, I guess. My domestic situation is quite different. If somebody leaves the toilet seat up in our house, nobody cares. If he comes home and catches me wearing his clothes, not an issue for the relationship. When we argue, it's about how to chop herbs. Yeah? Who's the accused member of McFly? Yeah? Which is stupid because it's obviously Tom. Right? Oscar Wilde said that the sign of a true first-rate intelligence, of a great mind, is the ability to hold two opposing ideas at once. And I actually think that's a good definition of a first-rate marriage, because you will hold two opposing ideas from time to time, and that's a good thing. It shouldn't be about you just become this one thing. It's a partnership that's much bigger than the two of you, but it relies on the two of you being together, and it's about your togetherness. Yeah? And that's the important thing about the partnership that they call marriage. And when you go into this wedding planning phase, and it takes a long time, it takes on a life of its own. And there's all this stuff that goes on, and it's quite stressful, I remember it. And then you get into the day, and it's just about the two of you, and your togetherness, and that's the really important thing about it. And then you wind through the day, and it'll be just the two of you again. And that's just the absolute perfect part of it, okay? And that's the bit that you should cling on to, because that's the important part. And anybody who spends any time with these guys know they are so together. Yeah, they are so happy in each other's orbit. And it makes me very proud. I know it makes Hannah's mum and dad very proud. It makes my mum very proud. Would make my dad extremely proud. So I really want to think about togetherness. That would be my toast to the bride and groom. So I'd like you to stand up, please.